So it's when we're looking at this, it's that thing that if I honestly ask myself, I find I cannot quit entirely.
Yeah.
And the geographicals come in, round the merry-go-round, sworn off.
Yeah.
I mean, when I swore it off, I swore it off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, I'm never
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah, yeah,
do
yeah.
this
Oh, yeah,
again.
yeah.
And I asserted my will
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said, when I make a decision,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
means
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
making a
I put
solid
my foot
decision.
down.
Right. And
Alcohol doesn't give a shit, but you can do it anyway.
right. And I find I cannot quit entirely. And then the other question is, once I start, I don't know the number of drinks I'm going to have. And then the literature actually describes it. It says, if that be the case, you're probably alcoholic.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
really and truly, it takes two
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
to
yeah, 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 yeah.
diagnose myself if I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, yeah. This is very good. That's right. So
Yeah.
let's. So if you're new and you're listening to this, what Pax is saying, and I love that.
Mhm.
And I just want to get that message out because it's important. If you're trying to figure out, first of all, you can only self-diagnose.
Mhm.
No one can tell you're an alcoholic, which is ironic because if you're an alcoholic, most people around you are telling you you're a fucking alcoholic. Most people around you are telling you drinking is a problem, right? Which is bizarre. You have to diagnose yourself, but you're surrounded by people who are telling you, "What the hell are you doing, dude? You're crazy. You've lost your friends. You're living alone. You might be drinking on your own in some dark room somewhere, but you still, you know what I mean?" But the way you diagnose yourself is you ask those two questions, right? Can I stop entirely? Not can I stop for now until later? Not can I stop for a certain set period of time? Can I stop entirely means forever? Can I stop forever? And the next question is, what was the next question?
Once I start,
Once I start,
I don't know the number of drinks I'm going to
once
have.
I start, I don't know the number of drinks I'm going to have. Both of those things apply to me, right? I had to ask that: can I stop entirely? Yes, I wanted to stop entirely. When I got to my rock bottom, I wanted to stop entirely. Alcohol, it became obvious to me that alcohol was about to take everything from me. It didn't get to that point. I was one of the lucky ones. I got off that elevator. So there's an elevator. That's how I look at it, right? You start where you have everything. Okay, you can get off then, right? You realize, holy shit, this is crazy. I can't be. You get up and you get into recovery from the top. You can go down a little bit lower. Maybe you lose a job. You get off. Right? You still have the wife, the kids, the car, the house. You go a bit lower. You lose the wife. Okay, you get off. You might have the house, but you have to sell it. The kids, you see them every now and again. You go down again, you lose the wife, the house, the kids, and the job. Right? You go down again, you lose the wife, the house, the kids, the job, you're homeless. You go down again, you lose the wife, the house, the kids, you're homeless, you're in a wet house. You know what I mean? And you can go down, you can go down, you can go wife, house, kids, wet house, physically injured, wet brain. Down, down, down. And then finally, at the bottom,
the trajectory is down, is losing everything.
That's it. But at the very bottom, I mean, you're going to lose sight. I'm just going to sound, I don't want to sound scary, but I've seen it. If you've been around in the rooms long enough, you and I have both experienced this. If you go down to the very bottom, that's when you're no longer with us, right? That's the end result. So alcohol, its objective is to remove everything from your life along that elevator until it brings you down to the bottom, and you're
6 foot under,
and you're gone.
Right. And I'm going to emphasize this and it's been my experience.
And by the way, that's the real alcoholic. That's the plight of the real alcoholic.
Right. This has been part of my experience, not just my physical experience, but along the journey of recovery is that I've experienced people suffering with untreated alcoholism. And I'm not even going to mince this. This illness kills. I've gone and helped guys. I've turned up to their home. There's one particular fellow turned up. We walked into his flat, and we found him dead on his couch. And how he died, he got pneumonia, but he choked on his own vomit. Nothing tragic in it.
That's not an uncommon story.
No,
that's the tragic. I mean, I've heard that story a million times actually. In fact, that's more than likely the way you're going to go, essentially. And that's horrible. For that to be normal, that's horrible. And that's what we're dealing with, isn't it?
Right. And I know from my own experiences, I was stripped from everything. Left with 2 legs amputated is where this illness really took me. And even then,
it would not be done with you,
right?
right? It's only because you stopped.
Yeah.
It would not be done with you.
No.
It was just starting.
Right.
You know,
But
it wants
this
it
shows-
wants everything.
Right. So you're going through
It
the
doesn't give
stage.
anything. It takes. It doesn't give anything.
Well, they say that alcohol is a great remover.
Yeah.
It'll strip you from everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
paint
Yeah.
thinner.
Yeah.
But even losing the legs, and I spoke about this, is that I'm sitting on a wheelchair. Okay, I've been stripped away from the alcohol, so I'm not drinking. This is me in hospital on a wheelchair with both my legs amputated. I don't have a drop of alcohol within my system where the craving can continue.
Yeah.
And yet, the mental obsession is so powerful. I want to shut this head. Don't want to feel what's going on, the despair. I mean, you know, the self-pity, the noise in the head. Like, how am I going to cope? How am I even going to function and live life?
Yeah.
How am I going to have a purposeful life?
Yeah.
Where have I got myself? And this noise was really, it was going rampant.
Yeah.
And I picked up I got someone to go and grab me a bottle of vodka and drink. That is insanity in itself.
Yeah.
I didn't say it's cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, me losing 2 legs did not stop me. It will go and take me till I'm 6 foot under. That's the nature of the illness. But the illness is that it's the deadliest part of this illness is when I'm not drinking. Yeah. Because if as I said, when Monica was saying, if alcohol's the issue, just stop drinking. If I don't ever touch that substance again, I'll be okay. But my real problem really starts is that when I'm not drinking, I'm left with this head. I'm left with what I'm feeling, the emotions, and the spiritual malady, all that angst that's going on. When people are saying restless, irritable, discontent, I was a restless, irritable, discontent as a child. You know, I was running around. I just had different fixes back then.
But you have to. I mean, this is where the self-diagnosis. Diagnosis? Yeah, this is where the self-diagnosis comes from. Because it's so easy to separate yourself from. So I can say, well, I didn't lose my leg, so maybe I wasn't as bad. You know what I mean? Or my liver was fine, which is true. All of my organs were fine. So maybe I wasn't that bad. I wasn't homeless. I didn't lose my wife, my job, my car. Maybe I wasn't that bad. You know, there is this it's almost as if, for some of us, where we didn't get off the elevator before it got too low, it's not, it can be difficult to see the other stages of the elevator.
Well,
something does shift, right? And I'll give you an example of one of my shifts. So I always used to say, I never became homeless. I used to say, I never became homeless. So I can't be that bad. But if I really look at my drinking, if I'm really honest, that's the thing, and it's honesty. If I'm really honest about my drinking, I can tell you there were many times where, on the streets of London, on the streets of Toronto, on the streets of St. Lucia, I would seek out homeless people and have a drink with them. And sit there on the curb and have a drink with them. So, I can say I had a home to go to, but by me saying, well, I never go like that, for many years, what I was doing is blocking out that behavior. You know what I mean? Because my alcoholism does not want me to be honest about that, because that's embarrassing. It's demeaning. It's also insane. Why am I doing that? Why don't I just go home? Why am I sitting on the streets with a homeless guy in the middle of Ottawa in the cold drinking vodka? Why am I doing that? You know what I mean? So I never became homeless. And it took me a long time to get honest about certain behaviors that may not be similar to homelessness, but certainly I was there.
Right.
And I have many examples of that where it doesn't look like the thing that I'm saying, like it doesn't look like homelessness, but it's very close to it. It's very, there's a familiarity there that's being blocked
Okay.
by my inability to get honest.
Right. I remember before, I mean, I've been at the latter stages of my journey through the lash of alcoholism and the drinking. I ended up homeless. However, before that, I'm amazed how the ego loves to rationalize and compare. Comparing. Okay. Now, there was a time where I said, well, I'm not homeless, so I can't be an alcoholic. And what you were touching on reminded me of something, is that I used to sit on a park bench with a newspaper, pretending that I'm just reading a newspaper. But I've got a bottle of vodka sitting. I've got a bottle of vodka sitting in my pocket. I mean, if I look at the similarities in it, I'm sitting on a park bench drinking, okay, on my own, right? Another one is that you know, I never actually went into prison. So there was this noise going in my. Well, I can't be an alcoholic because I haven't been to prison. I've not been arrested. Okay. But the thing is that if I get honest, I get really on, and in honesty, the principle behind powerlessness and accepting is honesty, rigorous honesty with oneself. I didn't have to be in a prison to be in a prison. Right? I used to sit in my bedroom with a bottle, with my thoughts. That's a prison of its own. I couldn't escape that prison. And I was running with the drink to blot that head out in that loneliness, the isolation. Just because I'm not physically but I'm locking myself away, right? I can't be around people. And I'm actually placing myself in lock and key. It's like, can I see the similarities in the differences? I love to do that today. Can I see the similarities in the differences?
Beautiful. So this is the thing. So when we go to our meetings, one of the most incredible things I've ever heard a group of people decide to do as a collective is decide that whenever somebody talks, you try to listen for the similarities in what they're saying and not the differences. You have no idea how much that helped me coming into recovery and listening to other people like you and everybody else who shared. Because in my early days, that would be my reaction. I am not you. I didn't get as bad as you. I didn't do that or this or that or that or that. All of these things that are not me, that I'm seeing that are not me in you, is an excuse, right? But if I look for the similarities and I ignore the differences, then I get way more out of what you're saying to me. Now, this is the evolution of that. And you said that too. This is why you and I mean, we're like recovery brothers, right? Because I literally feel like this is why I love talking to you. We're on the same exact page of the book of life. Because that's how I look at it. Not only do I look for the similarities and not the differences, I look at the differences and see if I see some similarities there too.
Yes.
And this is my realization. If I'm an alcoholic and you're an alcoholic, there are no fucking differences.
Right? No, absolutely. And the thing is that if I'm looking at the consequences, and I did this for a period of time, I was looking at the consequences as the gauge to diagnose myself if I'm an alcoholic, and that was the wrong approach. Because I'm sitting here with both my legs amputated. People are not everybody's gonna relate to having both their legs amputated, but that's not what makes me an alcoholic.
No.
This is just a consequence, of my drinking, and the state, the insanity it got me to. But that's what it's showing. It's showing me that this is the insanity. This is the pain that you've continuing this behavior is causing pain and suffering.
So this, yes.
But I can say, and I'm pretty sure if anybody who's a real alcoholic, I'm sitting here and I say, I don't need a drink to be legless anymore. But I drank to be legless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Mm.
is good
Yeah.
because I was paralytic when I'm drinking. I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is the thing. So it's like I used to say that. I used to say, well, I never lost I didn't lose my liver function is fine. I didn't have the physical effects of alcoholism really. I drank a lot of rum, so I lost some of my teeth. So I have this like veneers at the top here, which is fine. I mean, my teeth. I have a white smile. It's fine. But because alcohol did not have the physical effect that it would have on other people, like health wise, I would differentiate myself from other people, right? I'm physically healthy, I'm fine. Alcohol is not affecting me physically. This is why it's cunning, baffling, and powerful. Alcohol was not affecting me physically, but it was making me do things that was very dangerous. So I never drank alone, ever. I'm always out and off and running. And when I'm out and off and running, I am doing extremely dangerous things, life threatening things. And it was only a matter of time that I would lose my legs, just like you, lose my life. It was only a matter of time. That was coming at some point. Um, so again, it's that looking for the similarities. What did alcohol do to me to affect my health? It didn't affect my organs, my physical body health, but it put me in situations where my life was in danger, which is my health. So you have to get honest about what alcohol is doing to you and what your relationship with alcohol is. That honesty is the difference between starting a journey of recovery or remaining under that lash of alcoholism. Right? You have to do it. And it's not just a one-time honesty deal.
No.
This is something that is continuous. This is something it's rigorous. Rigorous means consistently doing something to the point where it becomes done to death. Rigorous. So you never really stop getting honest, right? You try to get to various levels of honesty that are deeper than the previous. That's the point of it, right? And you'll find the deeper you get with that honesty, the more free you are.
100%.
That's the thing. It doesn't. Most of the shackle that is holding you down is the inability to go deeper into that honesty. And the deeper you go, the more chances you have of being free of those shackles.
That's been my experience. I came into recovery. I could sit around and say, well, look at my life. Got no legs. Perfect excuse. And I'll say excuse.
Yeah.
You might as well drink.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I get rigorously honest. And I did get rigorously honest. And I said to myself, well, first, it's that kind of point where others did things to me. That's why I drank. But even that is insanity. It's like, I love this line in the big book. It says, we're like men who have got headache. And to relieve the pain of the headache, we beat ourselves around the head with a hammer. I mean, look, I could turn around and say, someone done something to me, and that's why I am drinking. But that's insanity. It's like someone done something, and I find it as a logical solution to torture myself. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Logical solution to torture yourself. That's crazy.
Right, an event or situation happens, and my brain says, "You need a drink," but that actually means torture myself. Because that's all it is, And we go to real alcoholic, and I love the line. It says that an alcoholic like a tornado roaring through the lives of others. Hearts are broken, relationships are uprooted, selfish and inconsiderate behaviors has kept the home in turmoil. And then I love the next part of that passage is it says the man comes out of the cyclone cellar and to see his home ruined.
Mm.
And then he shouts to his wife, he says, "I don't see nothing wrong here, Ma."
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know, it
The
makes me
delusion.
laugh.
The delusion. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like there's chaos and
Mm.
carnage, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
But
that.
it's not. It's not like. It's not. It's not. We never talk about dishonesty
Yeah.
in recovery. We talk about honesty.
Mm.
It's interesting. You know, it's like, you know, no one. You know, there are what we call the 9-step promises, right? So, if you're new and you're listening to this podcast, there is a part of the big book where there are 9 promises that are pretty much guaranteed, right? They're guaranteed. You have to do certain things to achieve them, but they are guaranteed. And I won't go into the promises, but none of those promises talk about dishonesty. Right? There's no promise that says dishonesty will suddenly leave you. You know, dishonesty doesn't really come up in the big book. What comes up is selfishness, selfishness and self-centeredness. I think that's deliberate
Because
and
that's dishonesty.
and that, but they never use the word dishonesty. They use honesty to talk about how we look at ourselves. Right? Honesty is how we look. It's honesty with ourselves. Right? It's how we view ourselves with an honest heart and an honest mind. Right? But how we interact with the world is selfishness. Right?
Yeah.
And every time, and this is the hardest pill to swallow for an alcoholic who hasn't embarked on a journey of recovery. The hardest pill to swallow is whenever you put that drink in your if you're a real alcoholic. Again, we're going back to we have to be a real alcoholic, not necessarily a moderate drinker, not necessarily the heavy drinker, but the real alcoholic. Every time the real alcoholic puts a drink into their mouth, they're being selfish. 100%. There is never a time where that drink goes into your mouth for the benefit of somebody else. Yeah. Every single instant you sip that drink as a real alcoholic, you are being selfish and self-centered. And there's no exception to that. Yeah. Why am I saying that? Okay, let's go into why am I saying that. I'm not going to just call everybody a selfish and self-centered bastard. Why am I saying that is because just what you said. You are in the middle of the tornado. Yeah. The house is in ruin. The marriage is on the rocks. The job is practically done. Or all of those things are there, but you're worried you might lose them and you can't stop drinking. Whatever it is, right? Drink has taken over every aspect of your life. You think about not drinking and you think about drinking every moment of every waking moment of the day, right? And so with all of that in mind, with the people who love you begging you to stop drinking, right? Or maybe you have nobody, you think nobody loves you, but you're drinking anyway to sabotage your own self. With all that in mind, you drink. What? Because you think it's beneficial to some person around you? No, you're drinking for yourself.
Yeah. You know, and it goes to that thing where we was talking about frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. Is that I had a lot of people crying.
Yeah.
And saying, "Why are you doing this?" And you know, my attitude was selfish and self-centered. It's like, I'm only doing it to myself. Just leave me alone. So what? It's my life.
I'm not hurting anybody.
Right.
I'm drinking on my own. No alcoholic drinks on their own. Not all drinking on their own. There is someone somewhere wondering, what is this person doing? How can I help them? I can't. I feel helpless here. You're hurting that. You're robbing someone's peace of mind. And if you're not robbing, and then someone might, well, I don't have anybody. You're robbing your own fucking peace of mind.
Yeah.
So you're robbing yourself.
Yeah.
You're hurting yourself. Someone is getting hurt. So that selfishness and self-centeredness, right, has to be smashed. Has to be eradicated. The words are very clear. The words are very, you don't mince the words. Yeah. It's not reduced.
Yeah.
It's not tempered. It's not regulated. Smashed to bits, destroyed, destruction. It has to be utterly removed.
Right.
Otherwise, you can forget about it.
He also says that, you know, it's very clear is that we must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us. It is not telling me that alcohol's going to kill me.
But that's really what kills you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the alcoholism. It's the selfishness. It is literally the all-consuming
Yeah.
selfishness and self-centeredness.
So
that
it
ends
goes
up-
back
that
to
ends up
that
in-
self-obsession.
It sounds harsh. I don't want to
It
sound
is.
harsh.
It goes back to the self-obsession. I'm so
Can't run away from the
I've got
message.
all the stuff going on
Yeah.
within me. I can't sit with myself. And yes, the solution that I have is to go and pick up a drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hit
Yeah.
this and give it a different spin
Yeah.
because you did touch on the 9-step promises, but I got all of the 9-step promises from a drink. Did you?
Yeah. Wow. That's a good question, man. Okay, so
Did you? I got it. Every single one of them. Every single of the. You can.
No. I
You were
took no,
painstaking about this phase of
I got it.
development.
You'll be amazed before you're halfway through. Before I was amazed before I got halfway through that bottle. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. What was? That's the
Okay,
next,
let's do
let's do all of them.
Okay.
Right.
So for all the people listening, there are 9 promises that
Right.
are we were saying before guaranteed to come true.
Yeah.
If you work through the program, if you join the program of recovery that we have joined, right? And it starts like this. If we are painstaking by this phase of our development, you will be amazed before you're halfway through. You will know a new freedom and a new happiness. You will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. You will comprehend the word serenity, and you will know peace. No matter how far down the scale you've gone, you will see how your experiences can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. You will lose interest. You will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in your fellows. Self-seeking will disappear. Your whole attitude, your whole outlook and attitude upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave you. You will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle you. You will suddenly realize that God is doing for you what you could never do for yourself. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled amongst you, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
Right. Okay. Now that are the promises. If you actually do the program and you thoroughly go through the program, those do come. It's a guarantee, and I've experienced all of them, every single one of them. I asked the question, Tony, because I know that I got every single one of those promises answered by taking a drink. Every single one of them. Okay. We said, did you like the taste of alcohol? Did you like the taste of alcohol?
No.
Right. Was it painstaking?
Very painstaking. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it was painstaking.
Yeah.
It's all right. What's the next promise you said?
If you're painstaking, we're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness.
Did you get a new?
Yes.
Did you get new freedom and new happiness when you drank?
Yeah.
Right. So what's the next one?
I definitely didn't forget the past. I wasn't thinking about anything anyway. I was in oblivion.
Right. Okay. So what's the next one?
We'll comprehend the word serenity and we will know
peace. Did you get serenity and peace? Serenity. It shut the head off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
We'll comprehend the word serenity and peace. No matter how far down the scale we've gone, we'll see how no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experiences can benefit others.
Right. How many times did you go and say, "Have a drink"?
Yeah.
This drink is magic, man. Have some more.
Not only that, when I would drink, I would promise all this stuff, like you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm gonna get you a job. I'll make you into a, you're gonna come and work for me. We're gonna take over the world, man. You'll see how my experience can benefit you.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the next one?
No matter how far down the scale we've gone, we'll
self-seeking was.
Yeah, self-seeking will disappear.
Yeah.
I was in oblivion. Yeah, I'm not self-seeking. Yeah.
No, you're giving away.
I'm giving away. Yeah.
Right.
Buy drinks for everybody. Yeah. Something. Fear people and economic insecurity. That definitely gone.
Yeah.
Economic insecurity was not an issue when I was drinking.
Absolutely.
For sure. I drank all my money away. I didn't care how much money I had. I come home with zero in my account. No problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
We will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle me. It would baffle me every time when I walked out of a club at 6 o'clock in the morning. How the hell do I get home? What bus do I take? Right? I intuitively knew what bus to take.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and this really brings it into, when we're discussing and talking about the effect produced by alcohol. Okay. It is actually giving It's the we touched on this before. It's like I said, it's that inner thirst and the spiritual malady that comes through. Is that alcohol is so close to a spiritual experience in terms, but it's actually the fake one. It's not the real one. That it kind of camouflages and says that you're going to get all these promises coming through, and it does do it. It really does do it. Okay.
Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly.
Right. It does it, but it's limited. Okay, because there's that double-edged sword. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
It's so in I could give a really weird analogy, right? So in comic books, right, DC Comics, you have a character called Bizarro Superman. So you have Superman and you have Bizarro Superman. Bizarro Superman comes from Bizarro World, right? It's like the mirror, the bad mirror image of Superman's regular world, right? So you have Bizarro Superman is bad. He doesn't dress well. He doesn't shave. He stinks. He looks like a drunk, pretty much, right? All the other superheroes from Bizarro World are bad. They're selfish. They look out for themselves. They don't want to save the world. They want to destroy it. That's the promises when you drink. It's the Bizarro promises, right? They're all bad, right? But when you come into recovery, you get the good promises.
That's right.
Right?
The real promises.
Yeah.
So you go from being the Jekyll and Hyde.
You go from being Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah.
Okay, so if I pick up a drink, I'm turn that into
I'm Hyde.
like a monster.
I'm worse than Hyde.
Right. So I'm turning into a monster because that's really what it comes down to. I can't shower. I can't do nothing. It's like
I'm having this conversation. Like, I don't know why it came up a couple of times this week. But I had a pair of jeans. Oh yeah, that's what happened. I went to a meeting yesterday. I don't know what I was wearing, but a lot of the people at the meeting were saying, look at how you dress really, really, really fashionable, right? I had on this pants. I don't know, but I don't know. For some reason, everyone was very fashionable, Tony. Tonkie, wow, you look very. And I had to explain. I didn't have to, but I explained to them that I had a pair of jeans from 1998 to about 2005. So 98, 99, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 years. I wore the same pair of jeans for 7 years. I had no other jeans. It was a navy blue baggy pair of no-name brand jeans that my mom got me when I moved to Canada for school the first time. And that was my clothing line. I would just wear the same crap over and over again because I didn't care how I looked. It wasn't, I didn't. It wasn't much different for how I'm dressed now. It was just that I never bought new things. It was just the same pair of jeans. I barely washed it, and maybe if I washed it, it would be, if I had the opportunity. It was weird. Now in recovery, I'll buy a pair of jeans, and I can actually look presentable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can buy clothes. Like, it's such a weird thing to say, to buy clothes. But I can actually buy a sweater that I like and wear another one and not have the same sweater. And actually, it's not about buying the stuff to make me feel good about the stuff. It's like I feel good about myself, so now I can buy clothes like a normal person. You know what I mean? That's what that is.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I was... Because I thought, I'm to hell with the system. I'm not going to buy new clothes. It's not that. I didn't care about myself. We talked about the mirror. When I looked into the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. So I'm not going to put clothes on that person. That is, I wore the same suit when I finally became a lawyer. I didn't buy suits. I wore the same suit to court every day. The same suit. I didn't buy, because I did not care how I presented myself to the world. When you come into recovery, okay, you care. You care because I have self-esteem. I feel like that's the thing about becoming useful, right? You start loving yourself. I didn't love myself and then become useful. I became useful in order to love myself. You know what I mean? And, I found myself having that conversation with other people, explain to people, I wear clothes now. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a bizarre conversation to be having, but it's true.
Yeah. You're going from the fake promises to the real promises. And it actually brings us back to you know how we kind of started is we just done a full circle. By the way, I've just realized that is that you kind of gone through the real alcoholic, but we started off there was a fire the night before within us, right? The spiritual aspect. And we've gone through the whole point of actually having the kind of fake promises of what alcohol, the destruction, what the illness of alcoholism really is, and how it's kind of destroying the lives, and then getting up to the real promises that you shared it. And we get that, okay. But that's also showing that the solution is spiritual.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
right. Hold on. Before.
Go.
So the questions that I looked at and is that one, if I honestly ask myself, I find I cannot quit entirely. Okay. And the other is that once I start, I don't know the number of drinks I have. But the phenomenal craving goes, and I have no idea where I'm going to end up, what's going to happen. I have no idea. Right. And then he says that, you're probably alcoholic. And if that be the case, you're suffering from an illness. Yes. Okay? An illness. Yes. Right? That only a vital spiritual experience will conquer.
That's it. This is what I wanted to say, because I think, because every time you
conquer.
So this is the thing, right? I forgot I wanted to say this, but I have to say this to you. And you will easily find a way in when I say this to you, right? So imagine you go into a doctor's office, right? And you say, "You're the Dr. Pax. Dr. Pax, I've come to a realization. I think I have a problem. I have a problem with alcohol," right? You say this to the doctor. Dr. Pax. Dr. Pax says to you, "Well, my boy, I'm sorry to say, you have a fatal illness. There is a good chance, very good chance, if you do nothing about this particular illness, you will die. There's no cure for it. There's literally no medication I can give you, no amount of therapy I can bestow upon you, no amount of psychology I can do to you that will alleviate this illness that you say you have. However, I have a solution." Say, "Dr. Pax, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? Give me some medication. Give me a prescription. Send me to Boots so I can pick up my prescription for this illness I have. What are you talking about? Put me on a treatment program. You talking about solution? You're not a real doctor. What are you talking about a solution?" And that's the thing. There's no cure. There's no treatment. There's no medication. But there's a solution. And why that's funny is because for this particular illness, the solution is better than if there was any medication for it. Because the solution does all of those things, all of those promises that we were talking about. The solution manifests those promises, and it completely changes your life.
So the prescription to the illness are the 12 steps. Yeah. That's the prescription.
Let's talk about the 12 steps next.
But that's the prescription we receive. You go to the doctor, and the doctor's giving you a prescription.
Yeah, that's it. So let's say, okay, so if you're new and you're listening to this podcast and you don't know about alcoholism, you don't know about recovery, how Pax and I are able to not drink on a daily basis, one day at a time. So today we are not drinking. Pax, are you drinking today?
No.
I'm not drinking today. Have you, by the way, no, not how you drink. Have you thought about drink today?
No.
No, I haven't thought about drink today. This is what the 12 steps are. It is how you and I are able to not think about a drink. I have not. So not only that, let's take it a bit further. Think of a bottle cap. Think of a stone. Think of lint that you get off your clothes. Think of mud under your shoe. Okay? These are things that I am completely neutral to. I have no opinion about mud. I have no opinion about a bottle cap. I have no opinion about an empty can of Coke. I have no opinion about the lint on my clothes. cobwebs. I'm neutral. I don't need to. I'm not obsessing about cobwebs. Right? These are things that in my life that I am completely neutral to. Alcohol is the same. I have a neutral relationship to alcohol. I don't care about it. I don't think about it. I don't obsess over it. I don't want it. It doesn't. It's like milk. I don't. Milk is milk. Alcohol is alcohol. I can have alcohol. There could be alcohol right here next to me. It wouldn't make a difference to me. I am what they call alcohol neutral. In the same way, I'm neutral to so many other things in my life. I'm neutral to these cameras. Whatever, it's a camera, right? And that is what the 12 steps gives to us, is the ability to have that neutral relationship with alcohol. So yeah, just wanted to say that. Yeah. I know you want.
There is a solution, and
you want to end on something, or
so we were saying about, so coming in and the ego says, I have a problem with alcohol, but then it's that battle that how do I apply the spiritual solution to it? That's the answer to it, and it's that vital spiritual experience.
We're talking about the solution. You segue. It's a perfect ending to what we were discussing just now, which is that there is no cure, there's a solution. You're now talking about the solution. Let's end on the solution. You're better to describe it than me.
So the whole point of recovery and the transformation is that we both have had it.
Yeah.
Okay. We've had a profound spiritual experience. That has changed our whole attitude. The whole thing is changed. And
they call it a deep, effective spiritual experience. This is the prescription, actually. A deep, effective, the central fact of our life.
Dude, you cannot go there.
Can't. Let's leave
That's
that.
a different.
You're right. No, you're right.
You're gonna get me started.
You're right. We'll never leave here. We'll have to extend the bloody studio. No, leave that.
Tony, if you go into that promise, okay, we are gonna be sitting there for another 2 hours. I know it.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about that. I know it. That's
deep, effective. But this is what the line I wanted to extract from that passage.
Yeah.
A deep, effective spiritual experience.
Right.
That revolutionized our whole attitude and outlook upon life.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And that deep, effective spiritual experience is it revolutionized. So it kind of gives us the I don't call it the ability, but it gives us the awareness of when spiritual experiences are happening around us, which is what we talked about before. So you kind of
what I do want to go into, and probably we're going to have to.
Yeah.
You can stop drinking. Never pick up that drink again.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can carry on with your life. But allow out that it says there's no middle of the road solution.
Yeah.
Right? We can go out blotting out the consciousness of our intolerable situation as best we could. And the other one was to accept spiritual help. We get a choice.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I've experienced blotting out my intolerable situation best you could.
Yeah.
That's not a good place.
Yeah.
That's not a good. That's torture.
Yeah.
Okay. And then having a spiritual experience and a spiritual awakening, and it's that kind of thing. But you do get to choose. I mean, for me to go through life, in that place of, blotting out the consciousness of my intolerable situation, that I can do that drinking or not drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing is that me and you're experiencing is that we're fired from the inside.
Yeah.
That spiritual high that I had last night after just watching a clip, and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Well, that comes naturally. That's always been there. I just never knew, but I had to go deep within. So yeah. Leave it there, Lo, and that's it.
Brother.
We'll wrap it up.
Before we wrap it up, we always have to make sure we wrap it up properly.
Yeah.
With my hug, brother.
Yeah. I love you, brother. Top man.
That was awesome.